and see if I can get this show on the road. Hey, YouTube channel. Wow. Wow. It's Queen with DC Tarot Dreams, and I'm out here doing a midweek update, sorta. And I was just telling folks that I've been suffering with a really bad cold. I was trying to get all that stuff out, despite the Charlie Kirk stuff. I was trying to get, the eclipse stuff out. So I had the September 7th eclipse, and I had the September 21st eclipse. And in between there, poor Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And as a result, I got thrown off a little. I did a couple of things with that. I'm still working on a couple of things with that. And I just got this really bad cold where I couldn't talk. I was trying to do the solar eclipse. I was so congested, but I was determined to get that thing out by the 21st because I knew everybody and their brother was going to have something out on there, and I needed to get it out on time. If I call myself somebody who's actually doing something out here, I need to get that stuff out on time. So, welcome to Almost Dawn Live. It's a production of DC Tarot Dreams. Hi, I'm Queen, your host for Almost Dawn Live. And hi, Clubhouse. Hi, YouTube. Hi, Clubhouse and YouTube. Now, I need you all to stop right now and smash the like button. When you smash the like button, it helps other people find this show. It when you hit the like button, it sends out a big communication message to the algorithm gods that are out here on YouTube, and it helps people find the show. For those of you who don't know me, I have a weekday pre-tape show called Almost Dawn, where I give your lucky day, lucky number, tell you how to stay safe, and give you an inspirational talk about happiness. I sure do. And the inspirational talk, I got a bunch of sayings that I like to use. And one of them goes, if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. And happiness shared is happiness doubled. And our days are happier when we give people a bit of our hearts. And my favorite, happiness is free but priceless. And after a clubhouse room I attended with young healers, I want to add, you can't help or care for anybody when you're unhappy, or when your inclination is to belittle another. Never forget that you walk the earth with others. So choose life and choose happiness. And don't forget to make someone smile. All right. So I'm caught up on the eclipses, like I said. And during this show, I'm going to go over who's having a lucky day. I had it all for the week, but, I was still taking cough medicine. And so I couldn't really get on. This is the first night I was able to get on. It took me forever. Okay, so I'm going to go over who has lucky days for the remainder of the week. I want to spend a minute talking about bigotry. I know, guys. Mainly because I want to make sure that my listeners understand what this term actually means. It's coming up in the eclipses, and then today, well, you know what happened today with the president. Now he's been, basically doing what he's doing to Hakeem Jeffrey. So we're going to talk about bigotry, what it is. You should always understand what it is. I was a child of the 60s. And so one of the things that occurred during that time was we had college students, young adults who'd sit us down and actually explain to us what these things mean. I don't think we have that kind of thing going on just yet. It's coming back though. Believe me, that stuff is on its way back. The way things are going, and they basically sat us down to get us to understand what these words meant and how to understand what was happening to you. Okay, because there's no use in raising somebody and they don't realize what's happening to them. That's when they can make a fool out of you, when you don't understand what's happening to you. I'm also going to share with you a creative challenge I'm experiencing right now because of bigotry. And yes, certain types of bigotry censor and impede our freedom of speech, our freedom to assemble, our freedom to do a lot of things. Bigotry is just really a dangerous thing, a dangerous thing. And again, it's been coming up over and over again in these eclipses, almost for like 2 years straight. For 2 years straight, there's always something about bigotry. And Neptune is usually in play. Neptune or something having to do with Neptune is in play. And for the solar eclipse, Neptune is really in play. Is really in play. And we'll talk about that a little more. And this week, I want to share with you the short I produced on the solar eclipse civil crisis. So that's how we're going to start things off. I have more. Then I want to talk about the events we've experienced and seen this past week as it pertains to our reactions to the reality of what we see and what Neptune has to do with it. Okay, so the solar eclipse talking a lot about bigotry, but it's also talking about how we're not reacting to the reality of what we see. And I want to share with you some of the things that I see and what Neptune has to do with it. I also want to ask are we victims? Are we being victimized? And I also want to talk about our emerging heroes. Who are our heroes? And then afterwards, I'll do a tarot reading on what Pete Hegseth has up his sleeve this week with the 800 generals he called in for a meeting at Quantico. I know it happened and all that, but I'm just a little more nosy. What does he really have up his sleeve? But before we get started, I need you to stop right now and smash that like button. When you smash the like button, you help others find this content. So do me that favor. And I need it because I get, meanies that come out here and they give me the thumbs down. They don't like what I'm talking about, and all that. And a lot of them don't know what they're doing. I think a lot of them are kids or whatever, and they come out here and do it. So do me a favor, if you watch it, just hit the thumbs up, and that's a good kid control, a good kid and demented or enraged person control, because there's a lot of people out there, they don't have all the marbles. They don't have all their marbles. Okay, a lot of people say I don't have all my marbles. I can call all those people liars today, after all this social media stuff, because this social media stuff is really bringing out the Looney Tunes people. Okay, and if you want to see crazy, get online here and look at some of these comments. I mean, there's certain sites I don't even go to. I don't even bother with. All right, so I want to talk about who has a lucky day. All right. So today was October 1st, and guess what? At about 3:52 p.m. today, the moon moved into Aquarius. And also, Yom Kippur will start tomorrow during Aquarius Lucky Day. So, Aquarius, go out and play your number on Friday, October 3rd. Okay, because it's a 3-day and you'll probably be lucky. And you can play your number on Friday until 2:15 p.m. And then over the weekend, um, it'll be Pisces, and their lucky days will start at 10:07 p.m. on Friday, October 3rd. So Pisces, if you have anything going on, make it. Get out there, find a party, find a concert to go to, go shopping, go to the flea market, do something. It's your lucky day this weekend. So you'll probably do pretty well. And if your state has a late night draw, get into it, especially if they have a draw like at 11, because your lucky day is going to come in at 10:07. So if your state has a late night draw like at 11, I'm in Maryland, and so they have a late night draw at 11. All right. And I can run out and do it. And in DC you can do it too. They have a late night draw at 11. And DC you can also do it online. Ooh, which is really nice. I like that. Okay. And go out and enjoy your weekend. It's going to be beautiful. It's not going to be too hot, too cold. Make sure you enjoy the weekend, Pisces. And of course, when Aquarius is having a great day, Leo, you're not having a great day. So lie low, stay home. If you leave the house, take your time and make safety first. And when Pisces is having a great day, Virgo, Virgo, play it cool, lie low, take it easy. Lie low, take it easy. I think we kind of proved that one because Charlie Kirk, poor Charlie Kirk, I didn't want that. I wouldn't wish what happened to him on anybody. But poor Charlie Kirk was assassinated on his unlucky day. Mm-hmm. That was terrible. That was terrible. And I think I've already preached enough about how much I believe in free speech and how these needless assassinations affected my life as a youngster, and how we don't need that happening. We need to really think about the children in this situation. We need to think about the children a lot more than we do. We're really being a heartless, mean, cruel country when we don't do what we can to control guns and see if we can identify people who have severe emotional problems before they do harm to others. We've got to do a better job, if for no other reason than for the sake of our children. So, as you can see, figuring out your lucky days for the month is pretty basic astrology, and all you have to do is check out the sun and the moon. All right. If the moon is transiting through your sign, you're going to have a lucky day. And so that is not a crazy claim. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And I'll probably be pointing out other times when people are having a lucky day. And I hope I come across a lottery winner. That's what I need. I need to come across a lottery winner who on their lucky day went out there and hit that number. Okay, and hit it big. All right. So now I want to spend a minute talking about bigotry, mainly because, like I said before, the solar eclipse points to it. Um, uh, we've been seeing a lot of crazy stuff happening on TV this past week, and I want to make sure my listeners understand what the term means. I don't know if people really get what it means. So, what is bigotry? And I have the definition up here. So, bigotry is when you are being stubbornly and unreasonably prejudiced against people with different beliefs, opinions, or backgrounds. You will show intolerance for these individuals or in the form of hostility or discrimination. Okay. Bigotry doesn't happen in a vacuum. It needs friends and people who buy into it. All right. And so when I was a kid, there was this TV show, Yogi Bear, and the cartoon had a villain named Dr. Bigot, and he had a magic bigot beam that turned Yogi, Boo Boo, and their friends into bigots. Okay. Things are not so much different today. We're bombarded with so much bigotry that many people don't realize they're looking at bigotry or that someone is acting like a bigot. Here's an example of some bigotry we've seen these past 2 weeks. When the president showed Hakeem Jeffries in a sombrero with a mustache twice this week, he was being a bigot. The meme was like Dr. Bigot's beam going out through the internet to infect all these people. All right. It was just like that and went out just like a beam to infect all these people because bigotry can't stand on its own. Bigotry needs others. And the other thing about bigotry is you got to be taught. You got to be taught how to be a bigot. But that's not the only thing bigotry does. Bigotry can discourage or impede freedom of speech. And lately, truth in reporting. I ran across this myself. And I want to release a short about the 9 far out astrology things I found in relationship to Charlie Kirk's death. And I'm hesitant about releasing it because I don't want to trigger the bigoted views of some folks. So I have avoided releasing it because I'm afraid of someone else's bigotry. And being afraid of someone else's bigotry is impeding my freedom of speech. It's just that simple, guys. It's just that simple. Okay? It's just that simple. When you have bigotry and it goes unchecked and people make like it just discourages other people. Now, I want to go over our inalienable. I'll get it, inalienable. I'm not as old as our president, but I'll get that word. I don't use it all the time. Our inalienable rights. We all need to know them and use them. These rights aren't for some of us, they are for all of us. And similarly, when some of us behave in ways that impede others' freedoms, these people cease following the law. Often, when bigotry presents and prohibits our right to speak, it's easy to use words like authoritarian, fascist, and Nazi to describe them. But these words trigger anger. Okay? These words trigger anger. So we need to use different words. And I believe the right words, at least for me, would be lawless. Lawless speech, lawless behavior. Okay, injustice. Okay, unjust acts, unjust behavior. All right. So we need to hammer home, I need to hammer home two facts. Our right to freedom of speech is enshrined in the Constitution. And when our right to free speech is denied by someone, they are acting lawlessly and can be labeled lawless or a criminal. Okay? They could be called unjust. Just don't use those trigger words. Stick with law. So right now, the executive branch and Republicans in the U.S. Congress are acting criminally because they are not defending our freedom of speech as enshrined in the Constitution. And we saw today that many of them were not willing to stand up and defend Hakeem Jeffries. All right, they just weren't willing to do that, guys. Well, that's enough of the American history lesson, but I will return to the topic of bigotry if I continue to feel as if I do not have the freedom to speak about the solar eclipse that's calling out bigotry. All right. So, hey, it's time for me to bring out my friend. You know who that is? It's Mr. Predicto. All right, Mr. Predicto. Can I show my short on the solar eclipse? Can I show my short on the solar eclipse? Hmm? Oh, hopefully Mr. Predicto didn't run out of batteries. I think he did. He's not talking up today. That doesn't look like a battery that I have handy. All right. Well, were you asleep?
Definitely not.
Look, you didn't hear me. The question was about, can I show my short on the solar eclipse? Hmm?
The answer you seek is yes.
All right. Yeah, that's what I'm seeking. I'm seeking an answer that's yes. Mr. Predict, he is in there asleep. I tell you, see, they're talking about AI and bringing all these things to help out. This don't work half the time. It doesn't work half the time. So let's see if I can get this video up for you guys. Oh, this solar eclipse civil crisis. This eclipse doesn't give a message, it poses questions. Are you reacting to the reality of what you see? Will we be victims? Where is our hero? See how you fare as the U.S. falls into civil crisis. Virgo, expect a double dose of beauty and attractiveness that augments your physical presence. Do not sulk. This is a time for confidence. You'll be tested. Shallow relationships end. Libra, believe you are in the flow of luck, fortune, and blessings. Even though others work against you, plan. You must finish by December. Don't rush. Conserve your energy. Keep an eye on your health. Scorpio, what's true of friends may be true of you. This fall, you'll enjoy many group activities. It's time to figure out who you are and what role friends play. Love has a friendly quality. Avoid long-range commitments. Sagittarius, at work, you find the sweet spot. Your career takes off. Your popularity soars. You attract love, yet you may have difficulties at home. Problems crop up. Embrace change or expect loss. Capricorn, a Venus encounter of love or the experience of beauty and art sway your mental patterns. It's time to broaden your horizons. Take classes, try a hobby, or travel to attend a seminar. Aquarius, a loan comes through. Don't get emotional about joint resources. Change comes from the death of some aspect of your life that no longer serves you. Love affairs are intense. Pisces, you're more introspective. This snaps your ego into balance. This brings a clear view of your relationship. Use this superpower to attract love, revive marriage, and make peace with enemies. Aries, you learn to balance your expansion with the reality of shifts in your fortune. Don't change horses in the middle of the stream. Finish. For now, it's all about someone else's needs. Taurus, time spent with your lover, spouse, or family will be enjoyable. You'll learn a lot about yourself and being part of a group. Yes, you are less of a star on your own. Share the limelight. Gemini, make your home life a priority. Redecorate, focus inward, realize what's past is prologue. Ask how your habits control your life now. Did the rules shift? Are you losing the game? Prepare to be tested. Cancer, your life speeds up. Reel in your reckless habit of not listening to the people you deal with daily. There may be subtle rules of the game you don't see. Look for love and affection in your everyday life. Leo, just because you can doesn't mean you should. The value of your possessions are in the emotional content they hold for you. So does this stuff meet your needs? Does this junk help you love or deal with others? Check out Almost Dawn weekday mornings at 6 a.m. All right, all right. I hope you like that. I really do. Hey, if you thought you liked that, if that might have caught your fancy in any way, please hit the like button. Very important. Very important that you hit the like button. So, as you can see in there, we talked about a couple of events that you may experience. And so let's see if they happen this week. Okay. And what I'm trying to get across in the video, especially at the beginning, is the fact that we have to begin to react to the reality of what we see. If you turn on any news program, you watch Fox or NBC or whatever, they all say the same things. People are not reacting to the reality of what they see. And Neptune has a lot to do with it. Okay. And when we don't react to the reality of what we see, we become victims. It's just plain and simple. We're just standing there like, sitting ducks while stuff is going on back and forth. All right. But the one thing that I've seen over the past couple of weeks since the eclipse is the emergence of a bunch of unlikely heroes. But they're popping up, and I'm kind of surprised. And I listen to a historian all the time, and more than once, she said, studying history and everything, you never know who the hero is going to be, who that person is going to be that pops up and really starts making a difference, okay, or starts changing things or helping us react to what we see. So, our farmers, and I want to talk about them first. They have had more food rot on boats and warehouses and on the vine this year than any other year. Isn't that crazy? No, the reason for all the rotting food wasn't fires, it wasn't droughts or locusts. It's all been these crazy White House policies. These policies destroyed our farmers selling to USAID. You know, these policies chased off the migrant workers who picked the farmers' crops. And a lot of the crops just died on the vine. And these policies helped institute tariffs that sent the farmers' customers elsewhere. I understand that big time customers are shopping in South America now. And lastly, these policies have caused a huge spike in farmer suicides. Yeah, you got that right. Farmer suicides. Okay. So now that the damage has been done, White House policy suggests that we take tariff monies to fix it. Okay. I don't know about you, but I what I understand is that we pay the tariffs, and if we pay the tariffs, and the government says we're going to take the tariff monies and give it to the farmer, isn't that kind of defeating the purpose of us paying the tariffs? We're supposed to pay down the debt. Doesn't that defeat the purpose? Why is this happening? Why can't they just fix the issue, okay, and remove the tariffs? Just like they're going off half cocked, okay? They just making this and, oh, we'll have a tariff on this, we'll have a tariff, and not realize that you're destroying the farmers. I mean, when you vote for people and you put them in elective office, they make pretty good money. Some of them make 200, 300, 400 grand a year, depending on what their contract is saying. Could they be that dumb that they don't look at the whole picture? I know if I walked in somewhere and I was asking for all that money, I better be giving, some good ideas, you know. So this has been really bad, and a lot of journalists have been talking about it, but for some reason, there's still a large group of people out there who are not reacting to the reality of what they see. And I don't think what we're seeing is good. And I don't think the plans that they're pushing forward are good. Just fix the problem. I mean, if you were at home and something went wrong, you would do what? You would fix the problem. You wouldn't throw money at it. That would be the last thing you did. All right. So Neptune has the strongest aspect to the solar eclipse, sun and moon. And many astrologers believe that this is why voters still idealize the president out of all proportion to the truth. And it's got to be something to that, because sometimes I'll look up and they'll have the president as a superhero flying around. And he's like 80, almost 80-year-old man. He's not a superhero. He needs help getting up and down the stairs. Astrologers believe Neptune is helping these voters insist that what they wish to see in the president is really so. They don't see the president's poor health, the cankles, or the dementia driven decisions. Neptune helps these voters in their refusal to react to the reality of what they see. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. So I'm going to stop right now and say, hey, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Because I don't think, maybe some astrologers may be talking about this, but I don't think a lot of them are. You know, this solar eclipse, the one that we just had, encourages us to snap out of it. Because until we all start reacting to the reality of what we see, the White House will continue to put forward policies that don't fix the issue and makes us all victims. Okay? And makes us all victims. Is that what we want? We want to look like this lady. Okay? We want to look and be victims, have our places destroyed, have, troops running through the streets, have money just go up in smoke. One thing that's been boggling my mind is that everything our president and his staff touches seems to cause Americans to lose jobs and American businesses to lose money. Is this our reality? Is this our reality? And so I wanted to stop here because I often ask myself, well, I'm in DC, okay? I'm in Washington, DC. I'm in here, guys. I'm in here. A few months ago, my son bought a house out in Maryland. I've been spending a little time there, especially when he goes to work at night. But I live in DC, and DC is there's two things you need to know about DC. This is how I'll put it. Number one, DC is a gay friendly town. All right. Number one, DC is a gay friendly town. And number two, DC is getting to be predominantly white. Okay, and it's been getting to be predominantly white for some time now. All right, it's been about, I would say it started happening hot and heavy between 2000 and today. But the cost of housing has skyrocketed in DC, and people of moderate means can't afford to live in DC. So when they come to DC, the apartments are $4,000, $3,000. And these neighborhoods are all dressed up. I mean, fancy. And so when I hear the president say he's going to send troops into DC, I'm like, for who? I mean, let's deal with the reality of what we see. We have a place that's gentrified, fully gentrified, very white. Places I used to go to in Midtown and at Georgia Avenue and Southwest, white, completely white. White. So when he says, oh, there's a lot of crime, we're going to bring crime in there, we're going to send them, who is he directing that to? Now, in the beginning, I was thinking, oh, he's directing it at black people. He's chasing black. And I thought about it and I said, the place is full for white people now. The last house I rented, I had to get rid of the big house because my kids are grown now. But the last house I rented, it was in quote unquote the hood. I had like 5 or 6 white neighbors. I'm sorry. It's not what you think. It's not what you think. And so the latest is the president has said he's going to go send troops to Portland, Oregon. I used to live in Portland, Oregon. I lived there for 5 years. Excuse me, that's that cough coming on. Folks, Portland is 70% white. Only 5% of the population in Portland, Oregon is black. I mean, there's more Asians in Portland than there are black people. And I don't think they even count the Indians. I have no, I don't even think, well, when I was there, they probably weren't counting the Indians, but there were a lot of Indians and Native Americans in Portland, Oregon. So when the president says that he's going to get rid of crime and he's going to go out to the enemy from within, he's talking about a white city. And that has had me thinking about what is really going on here. So one of the most famous victims that we've seen as of late was Jimmy Kimmel. He is a white straight male who happens not to be an oligarch. He's got a lot of money, but he's not an oligarch. So the logic that bad things are only going to happen to brown people and not white people is just not true. And Jimmy Kimmel's situation proves it. Jimmy's crime was free speech and breathing air. Now, every journalist and attorney learn in their first semester in college that public figures like politicians, actors, singers, models, etc., are fair game in the media. And as long as you don't publish blatant lies meant to defame a public figure, they must grin and bear it. Okay, they must grin and bear it. But Jimmy Kimmel didn't stay a victim for long. And he didn't stay a victim for long because we pushed back Neptune. We reacted to the reality of what we saw. And days later, Jimmy Kimmel was back on air. And it was that simple, cut off Disney, cut off those things. All right, that's what we had to do. We had to cut off those things. So I've got another one I'm getting ready to do that I'd like to share with you. I don't even know if I can share it. Let's see. It might have to be a share screen. So let me see if I can get this to come up.
So after 20 years of service in the military, yesterday I got pulled into an officer's office and counseled for a post that I have on my social media. During the counseling, they told me I'm under investigation as a threat to national security. When I asked for proof, like what the posts were yesterday, they refused to give it to me. They made me come back today to further go over stuff. They gave me the proof, and the proofs they gave me are anti-Israel posts. Okay, I'm going to start this from the beginning, folks. So after 20 years of service in the military, yesterday I got pulled into an officer's office and counseled for posts that I have on my social media. During the counseling, they told me I'm under investigation as a threat to national security. When I asked for proof, like what the posts were yesterday, they refused to give it to me. They made me come back today to further go over stuff. They gave me the proof, and the proofs they gave me are anti-Israel posts. Now, when I joined the military, I took an allegiance to support the United States of America. I did not ever take an allegiance to support Israel. But yet, I am deemed a threat to national security because I do not support Israel and their genocide against the Palestinian people. Yes, you heard that right. I am deemed a threat to national security because I don't support Israel's genocide against the Palestinian people. Since when does not supporting a foreign nation get a U.S. soldier investigated for being a threat to national security? So after all right, folks. So let me get this back. It's just me out here. It's just me out here trying to do it. I hope you saw that. I hope you saw that. That was when I saw that. I said, I've got to share that and talk about it. Because again, we have a white male who happens not to be an oligarch. He's a regular guy doing a good job. He's been in the service for years, So he's busting his buns every day. His crime-free speech about a country he has pledged to serve. And so we got to start doing it. We got to start reacting to the reality of what we see. Lastly, and I've already talked about the people in Portland, so I won't go over that again. But we definitely have to start reacting to the reality of what we see. That man was absolutely right. He was absolutely right. He pledged his allegiance to the United States and not to another country. And I think that was horrible that they were doing something like that. Absolutely horrible. So I'm sure you'll agree that, let me see if I can, that we need a hero. I'm going to remove this, get our little hero buddy up. I love this picture. That's why I got it up, because I like it so much. We need a hero. But who will be our hero? Well, plenty of them have presented over the past few weeks. And I'm going to try to pull their pictures up for you, because they have been presenting. I got to get rid of this guy and give you these folks. Wow. Rokana
Tom Massey, and who? Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like I said, I watch this lady all the time, and she does history. And she said, she's been doing history for a long time, and she does American history. And at times like these, you never know who the real hero is going to be. Okay? And so lately, we've been seeing that. We've also been seeing Governor Pritzker. Today, he suggested that they actually start doing the work to investigate the president's mental health. He said that. He said that. Governor Gavin Newsom, he's been showing up as a hero. He's been like, I've got, my state has Silicon Valley. I got some sharp people sitting right here with me, and we're going to give you a run for your money. Okay? And he's been doing a great job. I've been laughing at a few of the things he's been putting out there, but he's been doing a great job, giving that backwards and forwards, giving that fight to the whole thing. Once again, Jimmy Kimmel. Okay, he wasn't unlike, he didn't want to be a leader, but all of a sudden, he's up there and he's a leader. And last night I watched Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert, and I have to throw his name in there, Stephen Colbert, a leader. Now you might be saying, "Oh, these are comics. What are they doing?" Do you know that the president of Ukraine was a comedian? The president of Ukraine was a comedian. He was an entertainer. Okay, and that's how he got recognized by the people and got an opportunity to actually talk. So please feel free to send me the name of someone you think is presenting as a leader for us today. You can leave the name in the comments and I'll call it out. Remember, they have to have demonstrated that they were willing to react to the reality of what they see for the benefit of us all. Okay? For the benefit of us all. It's important we acknowledge our heroes, even if they're temporary heroes. Okay? So don't let this opportunity slip away. Share their names today. Even if it's even if it's a local hero, share their names today. Because of the September 21st solar eclipse, we have to push back the influence of Neptune. So I'm going to do what I can to remind you to not be afraid and react to the reality of what you see. Recognize the potential of you becoming a victim when you don't react or if you refuse to act on the reality of what you see. Okay, the soldier we saw earlier, he's reacting. Okay, something happened to him and he's reacting. But there was probably something that presented a month ago, 2 months ago, that he should have caught. That he should have caught. Okay, and it's been like a change. He's in things around him in the military have changed. Okay, so don't be a victim. React, recognize, and react to the reality of what you see. And remember, it's not going to be, there's a lot of people out here, oh, it's only going to be the black people, oh, it's going to be the brown people. They're not going after the people. They're kicking us down. They're kicking us down. No money, no job, no house, bankruptcy, blah blah blah. That's where they want us to go. They want us to go where they point us to. But what they need is they need control over everybody else. Okay, and everybody else means middle class whites, the Jimmy Kimmels, the soldiers. Okay, the white people who now occupy our beautiful gentrified cities. Okay, that are supposed to be so crime ridden. That's why the crime is down, because they're gentrified. The houses are $1 million. Most black people can't afford that. There are black people who can't afford that, but most black people can't afford the $1 million house. So we gotta giddy up and get out of town. My son, oh my God, he went through all kind of changes buying his new house. It was so much money. Okay, and I really had to kick it in for him, but he got it. All right, but he couldn't buy it in town, although he was born and raised, and grew up entirely. All of his friends are in DC, so he's completely, out of his normal element, and he's doing a lot of traveling. He's been doing a lot of traveling. So, like I said, we've got to react to the reality of what we see. Mm-hmm. And don't be afraid to acknowledge our national, state, and local heroes. We need to recognize them. We need to acknowledge them. We need more like them. Okay, so before we move on, please hit that like button. Again, hitting the like button helps people find my content. It discourages the kids, the kids that come through say, oh, I don't want this. Click, or she's not talking about my love. Click, or any of that. And of course, we had that nobody situation going on. The nobody that wanted to say, oh, she's proposing or purporting things that aren't true, which couldn't be further from the truth. Couldn't be further from the truth. So, please hit the like button. I really need it, really need it, really need it. So let's get into it, guys. I'm going to flip the camera over and, I can't flip the camera over till I talk to Mr. Predicto. Let's see if he's doing any better. Mr. Predicto, you doing any better? Can I move on to do the tarot readings?
I am confident it is no.
Well, Mr. Predicto, I have to be able to do the tarot readings. That was the next thing up on the schedule. We want to look into what Pete Hegseth really has up his sleeve. Okay? Will he really turn the military on people in the cities like Portland that's 70% white? Okay, can we get that tarot reading done?
I would not count on it.
Sometimes gotta wait a minute. Mr. Predicto, have things changed at all?
Yes, I am sure.
Okay. Things have changed. So we can do it. We can do it. But let me get Wanda baby out here. Okay, Wanda baby. Something must have been out here causing Mr. Predicto to not really want to cooperate, you know? Okay. Excuse me, folks. Hopefully that'll calm things down a little bit and we can get into that reading. All right. You know, the funniest thing about Clubhouse is as soon as I open a room, all these people trying to ping me in. I don't know what's going on with that kind of stuff. It happens every time I open a room. All right. My little coffee cup. My little coffee cup over here. And okay, because I'm trying to get it to look straight. It is like impossible to look straight. Guys, it's been some day. You know, my doing online stuff is draining. I wish I had the money to hire somebody. I wish I had the money. I would hire somebody to do all it, because doing online stuff like keeping up with a website, redoing it, adding some things, whatever, that stuff is something else. That stuff is really something else. Really something else. So we are going to be talking about Pete Hegseth. What does Pete Hegseth have up his sleeve this week? Okay, by ordering 400 generals to show up for a meeting at Quantico, Virginia. Yeah, I told you I'm in DC, so I'm very familiar with Quantico. Somebody calls me and says, "We've got a job down here." You know what I say? Hell no, I'm not driving all the way. You're going to have to find somebody else. But yeah, there's all of those military bases are here. And the other little secret I want to give you guys, because I'm sitting right here, I need to tell you. Every time I turn around, there's something else flying. When the Russia stuff was going on, it was flying over my head. And when they say, "Oh no, there's nothing happening," there's something happening. There's something happening. Because I wouldn't hear all that activity wouldn't be going on. But the one good thing with all those generals being in Quantico, at least they're not flying out here. They have an international airport down there near Richmond. I think that's one near Richmond or something like that. So hopefully that is it. So as you can see, I'm doing my same old with the cards. I'm going to put them together and I'm going to squish them. But I know if I flew 16 hours in from Guam, Korea, Malaysia, I'd have to stay through the weekend. I couldn't just go right back. But you never know. That's the military. There's something different. Right. 1, 2. All right. So we are trying to figure out what Pete Hegseth has up his sleeve this week by ordering all those generals to show up for a meeting at Quantico. He doesn't want them to be fat. He wants them to cut off their beards. He's already gotten rid of a lot of the women. And they're talking about going after the enemy within. And I think I've been telling you guys, they're talking about going to these cities. A lot of these cities have been overly gentrified. I mean, DC is not DC anymore. And I mean high class places. Was Johnson was saying something about it's safe to walk to the Safeway. It's been safe to walk to that darn Safeway. They done fixed everything up. Those houses cost the sun and the moon and the stars. Okay? Ain't nobody out there. I go to that Safeway. Okay, because it's the newest one, it's the nicest one. I go to that. Safe as can be. Safe as can be. Right there. And it's down the street from the metro station. Safe as can be. All right. They did have a notorious Section 8 apartment complex around it. It's gone. It's gone. All right. And there's another one that's still open, and I'm not sure, but very religious people are in that one, and they kind of keep it cool over there. But he was out there saying that, and over there, what? Some white guy's gonna come out and mug people? Well, you never know. When I was out west, yeah, white guy would come out and start mugging people. But here on the East Coast, that could happen too. Drugs do things to people like that. You never know. But yeah, it's not like that anymore. It's not like that anymore. It's been gentrified to the hilt. And where that Safeway is, there's some fabulous townhomes and apartment buildings and things right there. And I know that area very well. Like, look at who down there. I don't think so. I don't think that's somebody who's not from town. Okay, I'll be honest with you, they're not from town. It's too hot down there. It's too hot on Capitol Hill. If you're gonna do crime, shouldn't be on Capitol Hill, not in DC. It's too many cops. Too many different types of cops. I'm going to try not to do the sniffling stuff so you can see how bad off I am. I'm not ready to do the reading. I just want to mix them up and get them and encourage them to talk about Heggy, baby, Heggy. What did somebody today said? IPA Pete. IPA Pete. Okay, so let's make sure we ask that question again. What does Pete Hegseth have up his sleeve this week by ordering 400? 400, that was a lot of 400, 800. I kept hearing 400, 800, a whole lot, too many hundred of generals to come back. And I mean, they are coming back from all kind of places. They take 20 hours and then fly in. Okay. What does he have up his sleeve? And will he really turn the military on people in cities like Portland that are mostly white? Come on, let's find out. Will they really do stuff like that? Yeah, what does Pete Hegseth have up his sleeve this week by ordering all those generals to show up for a meeting at Quantico? Will he really turn the military on people in cities like Portland, Oregon, that's mostly white? Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, mm, mm. I see. That just came up bad. That mess came up. That mess came straight up bad. Didn't it? Didn't it? The 5 of Swords upside down. Absolutely a no-win situation. I can't see how you win. I can't see how you win. I can't figure it out. No-win situation. And it looks like it's the idea is these are the plans of an evil man. An evil man. Mm-hmm. Jesus. See, most people have never been out to, the Pacific Northwest or places like that. Many people have been out to like Utah and Idaho and all that. These places are very white. Okay. I think the journey is possible. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, look at this one. Look at this one. What did we just finish talking about? Too many. This ain't reading. Deep. Reading real wacky. But it's reading. Wow. Yeah, it's been bad, folks. Wow, I don't even know how. That would have been the first one down. Wow, guys. Wow. Like I said, this is reading really wacky. The question is, what does Pete Hegseth have up his sleeve this week by ordering 800 generals to show up for a meeting at Quantico, Virginia? And we all watch TV. We heard about all this stuff, calling, folks fat and stuff like that. Just some crazy, wild stuff. No-win situation proposed by a real evil guy. I mean, somebody evil. And every time we turn around and we talk to Hegseth, he's supposed to be religious. Why is all this evil stuff coming up? We're thinking, he's going to press with this journey to really clean up the military, get people to lose weight, cut their beards, all that kind of stuff. But really, it's going to be some sort of event. That's going to involve an older woman. And you know what he's been doing? Some sort of event. There's going to be some evil news. I think the result of that meeting is there was a lot of evil news coming out after the end of that meeting for a lot of those generals. That's why it's been so quiet. And I haven't heard as many planes. But it's coming. And this is about looking over what you got, really thinking about your plans, your domain, what you control, the land, the air, the sea. this Fool card upside down is telling me whomever this is about. And I hope it's not Mr. Hegseth. Maybe it's, our president and his dementia. Okay. But this is not good. This is not good. If this is Mr. Hegseth, definitely a defeat. Or a defeat of our president. Okay. There's going to be some really good work done. I don't know who it is that's going to be doing this work, because I can't imagine Mr. Hegseth doing any good work besides being on TV and looking at himself. And it may involve youngsters, children, or people, or someone may be heartbroken over what the good work is. Or someone may be heartbroken over the outcome. Which will be made by the Hierophant. Someone laying down edicts. This will be this way, this will be so. So if I was going to look at it, I would say this is the Prez. Because he seems to be the one laying down edicts. And somebody's not going to be happy. I don't know. I think have they taken most of the females off? I don't know if they've taken most of the females who were heading up offices and battalions. I don't know if they've taken most of them off or relieved most of them. I know he's been working at it. I had a friend, I'm in DC now, and I was going to exercise class, and she was one of those religious folks. And they were telling her that she had to give up her spot. She was over at bowling. It was happening around the same time that this stuff was happening with the women. And she was actually enlisted with her sister. And so they would get on and talk. I need to pick up the phone and call her. Chaplain. That's what. We doing when we go, exercise. She was very good. I mean, she was great. We asked her to come and show up somewhere, and she came and got up, and they said, "Will somebody say a few words?" Jumped up and took her roll and said those prayers, and we were ready to go. So I'm going to try to find out who some of these people. This is an evil man. So let's see if we can find out who this could be. Let's see if we can find out who this Queen of Swords upside down could be, this older woman. And let's see if we can find out who this may be. Okay, this may be. I'm thinking that's the Prez. He's going to have the last word on it. He's going to have the last word on it. Let's see if we can get a little more information. So let's start with the King of Pentacles upside down. I saw something strange here. There it is. And these cards are light. They're light, fine, and breathable paper. Paper is very important for tarot readings. Don't use cards that are really laminated and fancy. So we have a no-win situation, and it's covered by a very evil man who's bringing an end. He's bringing an end. Man, hold on. And I'm going to leave it at that. Hopefully. That's not Pete. This Pete Hegseth, this guy right here, Pete Hegseth, the fool upside down. This may be one of the people that this person is trying to bring an end to. And they're going to let go. They're going to surrender. And it'd be almost like a spiritual thing, like a real defeat of some sort. And guys, I'm asking for interpretations. 2 major arcana cards jumped up. This shit is talking. Who is this? This older woman. Give me a clue. I hate when the cards fall like that. Is that upward? I'm going to say that's down. This is an evil woman. Okay? And this is like a military man, a cop, or somebody not good. Somebody who's like after you. Okay? This is a theft. Something that's missing. See if I can get this card. You know why? It's green. This is a theft. And while this should be success, it's upside down, which means stagnation, failure. So it sounds like an event where these 2 people, not good at all, all right, are going to make a move, and it's a theft. It's a theft of some sort. It could be a theft of an object. It could be theft of money. It could be the theft of position or power. Because in politics, power is traded. It's something they trade in, but it's a theft. Okay, but it may not work out for them. Again, there'll be some really good work about someone. Oh, I gotta stop the sniffling. About someone who's heartbroken. And of course, this person here could be the person that's heartbroken, the person that has to surrender, or the family of that person. And this, I would say, is the judge, a judge. Ain't that something how the cards kind of fell out that way? Wow. Bringing something to it. That's why there's going to be evil news, and the individual or people are going to have to make choices. They're getting rid of somebody really powerful. You know, these generals, and they went to school, and a lot of them are very well educated and very talented. And I think somebody had this phrase today. And they got dust on their boots. You know, dust on their boots, and you've seen death and destruction. Well, these are the oracle cards. We're just going to see what they have to say. Oof, oof. Yeah, and guys, this reading, major, really telling us something. This one's telling us something. I'll be back on if I hear anything in the news, but you know, it's the military. It's hard. It's hard to find out what the freak is happening. And, all right. Let's see what these oracle cards have. I don't know how I do it, but sometimes these cards completely flip on me. Let's see. It's talking about soulmates. Well, I'm glad we got a little bit of that. Soulmates. As soon as this card came up, I thought about these two. Oh, that's my stomach. I don't know about these two, which is Queen of Swords upside down, the King of Swords upside down. Not good. Two evil people. Usually they're always together. Time to go. Whoever this is, it's time to go. And they were very loyal. Most military people are extremely loyal. They're loyal in love. They're loyal to duty, and they love the folks that have been in there for years and our generals and stuff. They absolutely love what they do. They're natural leaders. They love what they do. And they probably won't know it when all this is going on, but they will be finding some happiness. At least that's the way I'd like to look at it. Time to go. Loyal heart. Serendipity. These two here made for each other. Two criminals. Stealing. Soulmate. 9 times out of 10, that's the way it is. Oof. Well, I enjoyed doing this one again, guys. Again. When I began to ask questions of these cards, major. Major. And I believe that's going to be a judge. This one is going to be a judge. So after this one, the last 3 cards. It's going to be good work. It's going to be sad work. Then there's going to be a judge. All right. That's it for me. I thought that was good. This was really good. I got to keep up with this. I promise I'll keep up with it because I listen to the news, in the background all the time. I listen to the news. And I will keep up with this hunt and find out what is going on. I got double cross. Gotta find out who the hatchet man is. All right. Get back. Can we get back? That was fun. Wow, I missed doing that. I really did. That's a whole lot of fun. Yeah. So this was good, guys. I may or may not jump on tomorrow night if anything jumps up. Okay, if anything jumps up. Oh. Okay, Mr. Predicto. It's time to wrap up the film. Let me get out of here.
Later, when the time is right.
Mr. Predicto, it's already 11:47 p.m. This is not later. He's been really strange. I'm about to go nuts with all this tea. I'm about to go nuts. But we're going to wrap up. Remember to love yourself and stay open to those moments of accidental happiness. I'm Queen, and I'll get that 9 far out astrology things about Charlie Kirk done and get back on the stick with my dailies. Until next time, try to react to the reality of what you see. Try to react to that reality, please. And don't forget to leave me a like. Good night, everyone. Good night.